batteries, or you have any idea about that? Okay, okay. All right, you think it's Michigan? Okay. All right, that's fine. I appreciate you thinking of that. Okay. Okay, well, that's good. That gives me something to start with. All right. All right, thank you. Hey.
Do it again.
Huh?
Do that again. Hey,
What are you doing? Just
filming.
filming? Why?
Talk to me. Got something new I'm doing.
You can go in the other room and you can look at the Franklin's house and stuff.
Okay, come tell me about it. About the museum. I'm good. What's your name? Introduce yourself.
My name is Brenda Plummer, and I'm the president of the Fleming County Museum Society. And this is our current display that we have on Franklin Sousley. Franklin Sousley was from Hilltop, and he is one of the men who helped raise the flag on Iwo Jima during World War II. A lot of the pictures and different things that we have are on loan from his nephew, Dwayne Price. And Fleming County Library also has some items that were loaned to us. We have things like his, here is his diploma from Fleming County High School in 1943. There's a composite of his class in 1943. These are some pictures of Franklin when he was a youngster. This would have been during the time that he went to Elizeville to elementary school. This is in his dress blues that he had. These are copies of the medals that he received after death. We also have a couple of the pictures that were taken when his body was brought back. Originally when he passed away on Iwo Jima, he was buried there, and then later on his body was brought back to Elizeville. Price Brothers Funeral Home actually was in charge of the funeral, and so those are a couple pictures from there. These are pictures of Franklin. Some of them are of him. I'm assuming this is one of him when he was real little, that would have been part of the family's possessions. We also have several scrapbooks which are really wonderful. This scrapbook came from the library, and it has copies of all of his letters in addition to everything else. But I think it's this one actually has original letters that were sent to his mom. If I can find them. There's an original letter dated March 19, 1944. And here's another one. So these are really cool. The other original letters are located at Fleming County Library. This one also contains, I believe, okay, that would have been a group picture of his outfit. Social Security letter. There's also, let me see if I can find it. When he died, this is the certificate for his burial at Elizeville. This is a Western Union telegram. This is not the one that Goldie, his mother, would have received to say that he had died, but this is the one talking about when he his body would be returned to Elizeville. And then there are all kinds of other things that Dwayne has gotten through the years. This is his commencement program from 1943. There are pictures of when Miss Goldie went to Washington when the monument was originally dedicated. When the memorial was done at Elizeville Cemetery, there are things about that. So there's quite a few things here, and we're very lucky that Dwayne and the library were willing to let us borrow those.
Nice. What else you got?
Well, if you would like to look at, in this room, we have a few of the people who came from Fleming County. We have several more, but these are just a few of the people who went on to do notable things. We've got Woody Fryman, who was a professional baseball player. Carrie Douglas Dudley Ewan, who was an artist. We have a drawing of Dr. Graham, and he's pretty much known around here. He wasn't really famous outside of the county, but John Day, who worked for the Louisville Courier-Journal and later CBS News. He actually won an Emmy for one of his programs. Claiborne Jackson, who went on, he was born at Ewing. He went on to be governor of Missouri. Alvin Saunders went on to be a senator from Nebraska. Richard Bishop, who was from Elizeville, was mayor of Cincinnati and governor of Ohio. Maxine Graham, we have her picture up there because in 1975 or 76, she set the state record for the long jump, and there's not been anybody who has actually broken her record. It still is in effect. We have a picture of Pete Worthington up. He was a state representative, and Pete really helped bring to the forefront the covered bridges and saving the covered bridges. Addison White was a slave who ran away from Fleming County, and he ended up going to Mechanicsburg, Ohio. His master came after him and wanted him back, and the people of Mechanicsburg actually made up the money to buy his freedom. Gary Barker was an author. He wrote several books. He also was editor and publisher of the Flemingsburg Gazette before he died. We have Lake Kelly, who was assistant basketball coach under Joby Hall. He also was head coach at Oral Roberts University, and several other, he had many different jobs during the year. And of course, he came back to Fleming County. That was his home, and he helped take our high school team to state tournament 2 different years. We have Herman Chittison, who was a jazz pianist, who was born here in Flemingsburg. Became really well known in Europe. He played with Ethel Waters and several other noted people. And then we have just other things here. People that are from here that would probably recognize. This is a wedding dress that Gladys McCartney, who was well known here in the county, wore. This is a dress that Miss Linda McKee, who was a longtime educator at the high school, when she was in college, that was her spring formal dress. We have other things like this little set came from a restaurant that we used to have called the Bon Ton, and the owner of the Bon Ton, Mr. McDonald, was known for his country hams, and he sent them all over the United States. Bob Hope was actually one of his customers. We have items to do with the railroad that used to run through Flemingsburg. There's a picture of the depot. We had a train wreck in 1907, so there's something to do with that. We have more personal things like quilts and dresses, old cheerleading uniforms, you name it, we've got it. And of course, our name is the Fleming County Covered Bridge Museum, so we do have several models that belong to Stock Bauer, who was a covered bridge restorer. His father and grandfather were both covered bridge builders, and they started the Bauer Bridge Company. So we do have a lot of that. We do have things from different places in the county. For example, this is a picture of the O.L. Hinton store at Ryan, which was close to Muse's Mill. We have items such as the sewing machine and several items, glasses and different things that were sold by the Fishers, who were local merchants. Flemingsburg Mills, the Ice Company, those were businesses that were here in the county. Another wedding dress, this one belonged to Diana Darnell, and she married Tom Darnell in 1967. We have a wedding dress from 1908 that belonged to Polly Pumphrey, and she married a Blanks. We have a chest, bird's eye maple chest, that was actually made by Mr. Newt, George Newt, in 1843 in Flemingsburg. We have the salesman's samples of the Gateway Tobacco Press, which was patented by George Hurst, who's in the picture. He was from Johnson Junction. And then we have lots of other items. In this room, we have different things. The old courthouse that used to be at the top of the hill was built in 1929, and it was actually built on site. Slaves actually made the bricks. They used virgin timber. And so we have some pictures, and we are very lucky to actually have some pieces. This courthouse was torn down in the early 1950s, and the present courthouse was built. These are the clockworks that you would wind. We did have 4 sides of a clock, and we actually have one of the faces. We have the steeple. We have the piece where the bell would have hooked on, and the little diamond that you see there actually belongs on the steeple. So we have a picture there. This also came from the old courthouse. This would have been one of the benches in the courtroom. So we have it. We have a picture to go along with it. We have pieces from the Princess Theater, which was in downtown Flemingsburg. We have several old signs, calendars from businesses that are not around anymore. We have miniatures that were donated from the Hinton family. Miss Helen Hinton loved dolls, and so her husband built the boxes and she decorated them. We have farming implements. Fleming County was known as a farming community. Tobacco was probably our main crop. So we have several tobacco tools. We have hands of tobacco. And we have a wagon that was sold by C.L. Dudley. C.L. Dudley sold lots of farming implements, and he in fact was the first car dealership in Flemingsburg. We have pieces from different advertising. You can see the signs. We have the light from the 1940s that would have been in downtown Flemingsburg. We have a model of the Johnson Junction Depot that was built by a local person. And we have other models of the bridges. The one in the back is a model of Ringo's Mill that was built by Woody Mitchell. We have the Simon Kenton Auxiliary VFW that actually put together this Goddard model and a covered bridge model that came from the Community Trust Bank. And we also have even the parking meter that used to be in Fleming.